So yeah, we need our cold open. We don't forget to introduce ourselves again.
Yeah.
We didn't introduce ourselves last episode.
Should we do an introduction?
We don't need any introduction, but just for the listeners, I'm Curtis.
I'm Carl.
I'm Alex.
We probably
And we are the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister.
We had absolutely no lead up to that.
the Animaniacs.
Yeah, I know.
The Animaniacs say ACAB.
Yeah. Alex demanded we have a cold open. How's that for a cold open, bud?
Doesn't get any colder than that.
No colder than that.
On this fine, cold summer's morn. It's neither of those things. It's pretty sticky in here.
What if this is before the intro song?
Oh, man.
I mean, it probably is.
What did we do last time, fellas?
We got sucked.
We got sucked up last time.
Yeah, we did get sucked up.
We got sucked up.
But I get up again. I get sucked up, but I get up again.
Yeah, but I get down again. You're never gonna
I'm trying to
knock
think
me
of,
up. That's not quite right.
I'm trying to think of various drinks from the Final Fantasy series, but my brain
I
is not
take a
working.
potion drink. I take an ether drink. I take elixir drink. I take
Something hard drink.
something hard drink. I ride the bows that remind me. No, anyway, sorry. That had nothing going on. I had nothing there.
Yeah.
So we got sucked up into the sin hole, the bad ball.
We did.
Yeah,
The sin hole.
We got woke up into a dream by our old man.
Yeah.
Saw a vision of ourselves as a child and had a
And we saw our favorite sports team logo on fire in the distance.
Yo, hell yeah.
Which I like to imagine as like one of us like gets knocked out and there's a giant flaming Eagles sign.
Yo, go birds.
Go birds.
Go birds.
and yeah, we have a
Gritty's there.
Gritty's there.
Just gritty. We Arn's
I
like
can't-
we call it gritty.
I can't wait to unlock the secret character Gritty.
Yeah, but yeah, we
Titus just finished up his Blade Runner monologue, which is really the only comparison I have for like every time he talks over.
I know.
You mean like the narration thing?
Yeah.
Where like the
If this
I
was
was
a
just
final
a-
cut, it would be left out.
it's very like How I Met Your Mother. I feel like where you're like,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
does this 35-year-old man who's playing a 27-year-old man grow up to have Bob Saget's voice? I don't think I'm the first one to ever make that joke. I'm pretty sure I just stole that joke from someone who I
Sorry,
can't
you're the first
remember, but
important person to make that joke.
Yeah, it's
So.
just
Great artist steal.
it's the highest form of flattery.
But yeah, that's right. You're really just doing a really nice thing for somebody out there. Yeah, so Titus wakes up and what is he on? He's like on some like ruins, like some rocks out in the fucking sea.
Rebel.
Some rubble out in the sea.
Yeah.
Some Barney rubble out in the sea. And there's like birds on the rocks, just like chilling out.
Just
You
hanging out.
hate to see him.
Just
hate to see 'em.
vibing.
Yo, and it looks like shit outside too. It's like a bad day.
It's dreary.
It's dreary. It's straight dreary, y'all.
Real Edgar Allan Poe hours.
What, Baltimore?
Baltimore.
It looks like Baltimore outside where Titus wakes up.
This bird near him says nevermore.
But yeah, there's like nobody around. There's ruins around him, but they're all like submerged, and there's just like small pieces of the ruins and the rubble that actually poke out above the sea.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's gotten beached on one of them, right?
Yeah.
So,
Lucky of him to land on that thing.
all right, listeners, if you know the answer to this, don't tweet at us yet. You got to let us have our fun, okay? So just put it in your drafts and just save it for later. Can people in this world breathe underwater?
I mean, Titus probably can.
I think we can get
Or are they just holding their breath for a really long time?
I'm pretty sure we can get into it like later this episode.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ruin the fun in like probably an hour, knowing how fucking
that's
long we
fine.
talk about shit.
That's fine. But I was just gonna say, like, it could be that like he was just floating out there for a long time, but it's fine. Anyway, he wakes up. He's shouting around, "Oh, is anybody there? Orin, who?" And he has his fucking Sonic the Hedgehog voice going on.
Yeah.
Or as I was editing last week's episode, a Bop It voice.
Oh yeah,
He sounds like the
Orin.
Bop It guy.
It's like bop it, twist
Orin!
it, pass it, Orin.
Didn't we talk about Bop It on the show before and say how
Yes.
we want to
Oh,
get
yeah.
we want to get the voice actor of Bop It to be on the show for some
We got to
reason?
get him on to do the ha-ha scene.
But when he says, got it.
We gotta
Got it.
We gotta hack our Bop It so that they make the laugh noise anytime we get a victory or whatever. I don't know.
But we are able to move around again, right? Like this is like the first area we actually get to explore.
Yeah, and I think this is the first area where we actually have a map in the top left corner. Right?
Yeah. So this game does have like for each of the areas that we're going to be in, there's like a little mini map in the top left corner.
Yeah, a little radar. It's very Ocarina of Time with its
Yeah.
like icons, or it's just like you're a triangle.
Is that new for the FF series at this point?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other game.
Yeah, not
that
before
has
that at very least. Yeah.
Cool.
I think like 13 ends up having one.
Yeah.
And some other ones do, but like, yeah, this is the first one.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a bit of an upgrade from the Final Fantasy VII pointing gloved finger and
What there can be no upgrade from pointing gloved
Yeah,
finger
that's
and red
the-
and green
The
arrow.
hamburger, you mean the hamburger helper guy?
Yeah. That is pinnacle.
Hell yeah.
That's the top of fucking like location management.
I want to cosplay as that finger.
Wow,
follow
are you
people
Mario's
around.
hand? Are you Master Hand?
Shit.
Well, that's why Cloud's in Smash Brothers now.
Hell yeah.
Because Master Hand was in FF7 first.
A longtime friend of Cloud is the Master Hand.
So we're able to move around, and we're actually swimming around. So this game's cool too because we don't just have the option to walk around on land. We can also swim in this game.
Yeah.
And when you're in the water, you can actually like control your depth somewhat as well.
Yeah.
You can like submerge yourself and go down to the bottom. Which I don't think here there's anything on the bottom, is there?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't
I
find
didn't
anything.
check.
I looked around. I didn't find anything. I think there's no like chests under the water here or anything like that.
I didn't dive probably because it didn't tell me I could. Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
Alex loves following the rules. Yeah, I don't think I found anything. But you can kind of just like explore here, and there's one little there's a couple things on some of these like little
there might be a
platforms.
nook and even a cranny.
Oh, I might not have found the cranny, but
Okay. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
yeah. So no, there's a treasure chest. It has 200 gil. Real heads. Longtime listeners of the show will know that gil in the Final Fantasy universe is gold, is currency.
If you know Gil, you a real MF. There's also a chest with 2 potions in it that you can find by getting onto some other rubble, and you're basically like swimming in between these like exposed pieces of rubble, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's and again, like there's so much fog and like it's like not nighttime out, but like it's so
Very
cloudy
overcast,
and,
yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of nasty.
You might still get sunburn, but it's not really likely.
Yeah, not likely, not likely. Well, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Do clouds block UV radiation? I think it goes through them, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. It goes
Only
through
if he
them.
has UV
It's-
of materia equipped.
That's right.
It's about like 90%. I checked the other day. So I was wondering about that.
And then we should point this out too. So there's 2 items here of note that we're gonna get into more. There's like a blue plaque on the wall or on one of these little columns.
It's like, yeah.
in these ruins, and we can't understand what it says. Right? Like Titus looks at it and he's like,
What do we have here? Nope. Can't read it.
and we're gonna learn about that more as we go on. But that's related to the second other thing that we can find here, which is like a weird half sphere, I guess, just like a dome,
Yeah.
right? Like a blue one just sitting on the ground, and it looks like an item that you could pick up, right? And it's like 2 feet wide or something like that.
Yeah.
That plaque is written in a different language, and as you play the game, you get better at speaking and understanding that language. And if you've played the game before, you can actually import your language understanding from another save and just have it right out of the gate. Which, all cards on the table, I just recently beat the game to figure out how many episodes there's going to be for the podcast, yada yada. So for the first time ever, I actually imported all that data. And so as we go through it, I'll actually know what the characters are saying. And we talked about it a little bit. I think that the way we're going to handle it is we're going to handle it as though this is your first time playing through the game. And we're not really going to tell you what the other characters are saying until it would make sense that you can figure it out. Unless I think it's especially hilarious. And then, and then I'll point out what they actually say. But that's what that is. So this is your first time playing through. You're playing the remaster. You'll see that. You can't really do anything with it right now.
Yeah, it's that's a really cool mechanic. I always like when games do
Yeah.
that. It encourages replay, even if it's for something that like might be inconsequential.
Like a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. This is the podcast of this world.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's really all that's in this first area, right?
Yeah.
I got a high potion.
Yeah, okay, so that's in like the second area. So as soon as we leave the first area, we
right.
get onto a more like, I don't call it land base, that's not really right. But we like get out of the water a little bit.
You go up some stairs and there's like, you're kind of almost inside of an old structure.
Yeah,
And there's still some arches and support columns and stuff still there that you can kind of get out of the water and climb around and stuff.
Right, and you can climb over to that high potion over there.
Right. I'm looking at the switch organizes your screenshots in reverse chronological order. So I was
and we also find our first save sphere.
Hell
Is
yeah.
the way that we save in this game.
oh, I missed those question marks that float.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So there's different levels of save spheres in this game. Do you guys have that text box?
I do, yeah. It says Traveler's Save Sphere Level 1. Stores a record of your travels, also fully restores your party's HP and MP.
Once we get it to we'll go through like level 1, level 2, level 3, and then sphere level limit break, and it'll just say let's fucking go.
Hella saved.
Also, I don't know if you guys can see this on my screenshots or whatever, but Final Fantasy screenshot. Right in the middle of it is a Super Mario World from the SNES screenshot.
Yo, fuck
right
yeah.
back to Final Fantasy.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, what was I doing? Like while I was playing this game, I was just like, I need 10 minutes of Super Mario World right now.
Fuck yeah.
I'm glad we're not doing this the same time as I'm playing through Animal Crossing for the first time because my screenshots were out of order because I kept time traveling.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Oh my God.
so the timestamps on them were out of order.
Is there? Oh yeah, I guess that's
Man.
the only way that you can like categorize them too, huh? I didn't even think of that.
You know, last week we had so many good shots of Titus's dumb face.
Yeah.
This game just does not stop giving. I tell you what.
Oh my God.
I tell you what. I'm
It's
just
the game that keeps on
gonna
giving.
show you.
Where's his teeth? So I was looking at old game mags, and that reminds me of the one where the kid is like missing all his teeth. I guess it's implied that he put all his teeth under his pillow for like a Game Boy Advance or something like that. And he's just a gummy kid.
He's just a gummy kid.
A Sour Patch Kid, if you will.
But as we're
I want
walking
gummies,
along
though.
these archways, I guess you'd call them, like we're on top of them. But yeah, it probably was like at some point it was either like a bridge or used to hold the ceiling up. It collapses.
Yeah.
And we fall into the water in the center of this room, right?
Tide can't get a break.
I know, Tide.
This is your number one Tide Pod.
I named him Tybus. You just like remove 2 of the letters and name him Tid. FF10 has so much Tid in it.
I will say this too about this in particular because it's going to come up a lot. I feel like this game has a lot of like Titus getting owned per capita.
Oh my god,
Like,
so much of it.
We haven't really gotten that far, and it happens a lot.
I know, it really does.
The way you word that makes it seem like the entire population has a share in Titus.
Oh, he's publicly owned.
It's owned with a P though.
But yeah, so the center of this area is just like full of water, right? And so we like fall down into the water, and I have a hilarious screenshot of Titus's face when he realizes that he's fallen into the water and he's very gummy. Oh no! Oh no! And he's like immediately beset upon by some Sahagin.
Oh hell yeah!
You remember those guys from 7 and
Oh, yeah.
1 actually? No,
Yeah.
think about it. Yeah,
The fishy boys.
they're back, but with more polygons.
Yeah,
this time.
now with less Ninja Turtle, now with more.
Yeah,
Fish.
yeah.
yeah, right. And there's 3 of
He's
them.
more fish than man now.
They all go down in one hit, right? Nothing really
Yeah, I don't think there was anything
Well,
really-
special.
Most of them, and then
Yeah. So, well, yeah, good point. 2 of them go down in one hit. And then when you have one Sahagin left on the screen, there's like a scene where like Titus is just looking around. I guess he hears some like rumbling or something, and like the camera starts shifting around, and Carl's showing me a dumb fucking look of Titus. God, this game is so good for that. He's got so many faces.
that's like the Angry Cat No Banana face.
We gotta put it with the Renoa one or whatever.
Oh my God, yeah, it's
Titus
exactly
and
like
then the
that.
Angry Cat No Banana.
I guess before we talk about this thing that's happening, I there's some really interesting. They're showing off some kind of interesting camera work because every time there's a cutscene, even though it's like an engine they have this kind of blur effect to kind of add some dreaminess.
Yeah.
It's almost unsettling. I kind of hate it, but it's
like ghosting on your television.
Yeah, and they all the cutscenes have that in this game. It's very weird.
The engine can't do like a moving scene. Actually happened in the opening cutscene, the cold open. There's like it'll freeze and then it'll crossfade and kind of dissolve into the other thing. But it does this a lot, where it's kind of very disorienting and
You can actually see it in this screenshot that I just showed as well, where like part of Titus's face, like the outside of it, like where it's moving, is like transparent.
Yeah, right.
And it's not like all his proportions look correct, but it's like it didn't just shift like the side of his face over. It like yeah. I don't know. It's weird.
It's odd.
it's just for emphasis.
Yeah.
It happens a lot in Twin Snakes, doesn't it? The GameCube remake. When
perhaps
when they made
Alex.
Snake doing like matrix flips over doors and shit, they doing like slow motion.
But this most heinous fucking demon animal fish whale
Turtle. Yeah.
fucking comes out of the fucking rubble and it's mean looking, and dude, it eats that Sahag and just fucking chows on that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing looks on par with like one of the weapons designs. It's like super
Yeah,
nasty. I'm looking at a really good picture.
How do you guys pronounce that?
Gios Gano?
Good enough for me.
Wait a second. Sorry, I'm gonna have to bring this back to Star Wars.
Gaino?
Where are the list of pod racers? There's totally a pod racer.
There's only two, Anakin and Sebulba. As far
it's
as
the
I'm
same name.
concerned.
Yes. So
Banta Pudu.
So it's spelled GeosGaeno.
And there's actually a fucking pod racer named that?
His name's Gazgano.
Dude, what the fuck? Did we like fall ass backwards into a fucking conspiracy between Square
It's not
Enix and
spelled
Star
the same
Wars?
way, but it's like Gazgano.
Well, that's good
God.
enough for me. His name's Gazgano.
Good God. Holy shit.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's very uncomfortable. Like I don't
It's
like
a tradition as old as time. We have Biggs and Wedge.
That's true.
Oh my God, you're
Wait,
right.
That's a good point. Holy shit.
Oh, that's
and
this came out after episode 1. So
yeah,
Gazgano.
episode 1 was still pretty culturally relevant. I mean, it's timeless, so of course it is. But
He's that guy.
I mean,
hell yeah.
oh hell yeah.
He's a favorite in the game that just got ported to.
Oh, I gotta
Switch.
get that game.
He was very fast.
Hell
I
yeah.
did every now and again. I look at like what my friends have been playing on Switch, and I looked at Alex's, and it was like Star Wars Pod Racer, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, my man!"
Totally wizard.
Anyway, this looks nothing like Gazgano. It looks more like he's got squiddy legs. He's got like a
a
giant.
Squidward, you might say.
He's got like a rib cage of like a Bowser for a chest.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the Pod Racer or the?
We're talking about Boss Gazgano.
Okay,
not
Boss
Nass.
Gazgano.
The movie or the planet?
So okay, back to the FFX.
Yeah, sorry.
Gazgano.
I would say he's got 3 layers.
He's got a lot. So like, from the top, he has kind of like a normal kaiju head, kind of beaky, no eyes.
Yeah.
He's got some glowing tentacles with little glowy orbs at the end of them.
Yeah. They're
seen it.
D&D.
Coming out of his back, right?
Yeah, and he's got giant like kaiju arms that are kind of bent
Yeah.
down, like kind of like they're scaly and kind of crustacean-esque.
They're the best part of the boss. Well, maybe second best.
Yeah, those things look like they do some damage. They're
Yeah.
pinchery. They kind of remind me of like the mantis shrimp. They kind of have like
Oh, yeah.
lots of layers, and
Is that the one that like punches real fucking hard?
yeah, I can break the sound barrier in his punch.
Yeah, and also like it heats things up around it to like the temperature of the sun because of how fucking hard it hits.
Yeah,
Yeah, those things are fucked.
That's sick.
Yeah.
yeah. This probably can do the same thing.
And then that rib cage. What'd that rib cage do?
Yeah, is
And
that
it sounds like a xylophone.
I'll tell you what.
It is. It's just the.
I'll tell you what that rib cage don't do. That rib cage don't hold food in it or organs in it.
Yeah.
this bitch empty?
This bitch empty. Yeah, its midsection is like an exposed open rib cage that you can just see inside of.
Its midsection is one of those like cages of death at like a circus that a bunch of motorcycles
Yeah,
like.
the bicycle guy. Oh my god, yeah. Gazgano has like a bunch of motorcycle people like going around in
That's the
circles on the
secret.
inside.
You gotta target the quick kill strat is to target the little motorcycle guys going around in them.
Oh my god, is there like I wonder if that would how hard that would be to Photoshop. Probably too hard for me to actually want to care about
I'll
doing.
see what I can do.
It's more work than I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna post on like a forum like advice on modding motorcycle guys into FFX. I was like, why?
And he also has 4 big, thick tentacles on the bottom,
Yeah.
Scaly boys.
Much like Squidward.
much like a Squidward might.
Not nearly as handsome.
But I would like to say, this boss, okay, everything the first episode, everything we're going to talk about this episode, I was like, do I have to heal or can I just click attack until I win?
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much describes Final Fantasy.
Well, I mean like never have to heal, never have to defend. Can
Final
I just,
Fantasy.txt.
Yeah, and you can just squeak by without
nice.
healing. I was just like, I'm just going to go for it. So really no challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just smash right through him if you want.
Yeah.
And he eventually gets mad.
Yeah, you don't like kill him. Like he just kind of chases you, right?
You certainly don't kill him yet.
Oh.
Fast forward to episode like 50 or some shit of our podcast.
Oh shit! Spoiler.
Whoops. We'll be back for you. Anyway, yeah.
But yeah,
but
he like chases you.
I actually do like this cutscene. Like,
too.
I will say this too. They do a good job in this game of blurring the line between running around in the quote-unquote overworld or the play area and doing the battles.
The playpen.
The playpen. And actually being in the battles. Like,
Yeah.
where before, like, you know, you always get, like, warped to that fucking battle universe in Final Fantasy where you do your battles and then you're back on the overworld or on the map. This one, like, they feel like they're the
pretty
same
seamless,
place.
yeah.
So, like, the cutscene just kind of starts. Like, we don't exit that battle screen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which again, really impressive at the time.
Yeah, so I do like that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and also like it's very cinematic in ways that like former Final Fantasy games like towards the end of the PlayStation era they were kind of getting that way.
Yeah.
But it's very like like the shots of it are very like movie like there's a lot of panning, a lot of tilting like in a more like movie-like way. I think.
And kind of like we were describing in the first episode, there's actually 3D models for the backgrounds now.
Yeah.
So you can actually have
You can
those
move around in there more
angles.
than just like parallax scrolling.
But yeah, Gyazgano comes after you and he like has his big maw open or whatever.
Yeah,
and he's
his mouth kind of like opens up kind of
like the dinosaur that kills Newman in Jurassic Park.
He's got kind of I was gonna say like a blade vampire. The one
Okay.
Like
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, it kind of opens 4 directions. He has 4 jaws.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill.
But he's trying to give Titus the suck, and Titus is swimming away, and Titus sees like an area that he can get to, right? Like a small like
cave or something.
An entrance in the rubble. So he swims toward it. And it's actually pretty fucking dope. I kind of like it. Like, Gyazgano gets so close to eating him that, like, half of Titus's body is inside of his mouth.
If he
like,
just chomped, it would have been...
Oh, dude, if he would have just brought it together.
He's trying to go for the whole bite. He's trying to eat it in one bite.
And
like greedy.
Just game can't get enough of eating Titus.
It's like, if you would only eaten half of the Oreo, you would have both of them now. But now it's on the floor. And you didn't pick it up in 5 seconds. It's worthless.
Yeah.
So, but Titus does get away. Yay. And he fucking gives us one of the best lines in the game.
I hate it so much.
I hate him.
I hate this line so much. I think I referenced it last week. But,
You did, and I didn't get it. And I was like, what is Carl talking about?
And again, it's in this like weird presentation, like narrator voice.
Oh yeah.
I had made it out of the frying pan and into the freezer.
And I'm like, no one says that. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I know.
Shut up. Be cool. Be normal for like one fucking
be normal.
second. Just come on, dude. Just be regular.
Titus, be cool. And I guess like it makes sense. I mean, he's saying, it's cold there.
His
right?
internal voice is way cooler than his like actual.
Yeah.
Because immediately he's just like cold, need fire.
Yeah.
But the little area that we were able to swim into is kind of like a stairwell, I guess.
It's got some Dark Souls level area.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Some Ocarina of Time, like end game, like Ganon's tower vibes.
Yeah. But it's all like we were saying, it's all rubble, so like all the stairs are all eaten up and it's all nasty. But when we get to the top of those stairs, we emerge in like a
Citadel. Colosseum. Citadel.
Atrium.
atrium.
Damn it!
Yeah, I was like, no, those 2 words have specific purposes behind them, though. So like, it wouldn't be quite right. Like an atrium's a nice like functional neutral term.
It is very church-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And basically, like, lightning is crashing outside, and there's, like, water streaming in. So, like, there actually is a ceiling to this area.
Yeah.
But, like, some of it is exposed.
Yeah.
And so there's, like, water flowing in from it, I guess from the weather and the fact that there's, like, it's out in the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
So.
We don't know where the fuck we are.
Yeah, no, yeah, we just woke up and then this.
All
This
bets
area
are
has
off.
a lot of dimension, though. I love looking at, like, the screenshots and just seeing the water come down from the ceiling. It's, like, for this, I mean, they're really showing off what the system can do.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, this came out, like, almost the same year or the same year as a PS2, maybe.
Think so?
It says 01 in the corner of my screenshots since every one of them is fucking watermarked.
I figure 01 is around when the PS2 came out. Maybe a little earlier.
I'm going to write a Twitter script so that every screenshot removes the fucking watermark. And I'm just going to directly tag Nomura in it and say, like, come at me, motherfucker.
But so like you said, Alex, he does say like, "Oh, I need fire" when you walk into this. So he's like freezing to death or whatever.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the room is like an old used campfire. There's like some wood that's all stacked up and shit. But I guess it's like, all burnt up. Maybe it might be moist.
Could quite possibly be moist. There's a lot of
and
moisture.
soggy. Oh yeah. So we got to find now we're going on like a little mini game almost, like a little scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
For flint and tinder. Mm-hmm. But Tinder has not been invented in 2001.
Yeah.
Dating is done in person, if at all.
Yeah. Just not a cell phone in sight, just people living in the moment.
Just people playing blitzball, living in the moment.
Just guys being dudes.
But yeah, so you can like run around the area. There's some rooms that kind of like are little offshoots from this middle area, this atrium. And one of them, when you walk into it, there's like, it's all just fucking the ceiling's falling down. There's fucking rubble everywhere. There's a giant chunk of the ceiling that's fallen on like a wooden table, right?
Yeah.
But you can go up to the table, interact with it, and Titus like pulls one of the shelves, I guess, of it out.
Like one of the drawers, yeah.
And there just happens to be two Flintstones. just hanging out there. So that's fortunate.
There's got to be a Final Fantasy X Silva Gunner meme where it goes into the Flintstones theme. So I'll see if I can find that and see if we can pop that in.
Did you guys see, like when we first get in this room, like I'm saying, like lightning strikes and stuff, after the very first one, before it actually lets us move around, it shows this like weird ass statue real quick.
Real cool looking.
You can actually go talk to the statue and communicate with it. And it just says, a creepy statue.
That's the best kind of statue, baby.
My favorite. If making a statue, why not creepy?
Yeah.
Honestly, take down all the Southern General statues from the United States.
Hell yeah.
And in their place,
put this creepy statue.
statues.
Hell yeah. I can get behind that.
There's a lot of McDonald's closings that got those McDonald's statues also.
A grimace in every state.
Yeah, a grimace in every city. So another one of the doors has some like a staircase that leads upwards. And at the top of it, there is some like withered flowers.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, so you can actually
bouquet.
Before you go upstairs, there's also like just like a planter, like an urn, if you will, that has these like
Time for it.
these dead flowers in it, and if you interact with that, it says some withered flowers have been left here. They've soaked up too much rainwater to serve as tinder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so a little nudge. If this gathered 2 items in this very limited space that you can walk around in puzzle is too hard, they give you a little hint.
Also up there, you can also get a treasure chest, and I, like a dullard, did not. I can take a picture of what it was.
It is a high potion.
Thank you. 2 high potions. First area. Look at
Yeah,
that.
it's like kind of the thing where like at first you're like, oh fuck yeah, that's cool, and then you're like, wait, if I'm getting high potions this early, I don't think that's necessarily going to be a good thing in the long run. It's like when you find like really good like healing items in games, right before like in a dungeon, and you're just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I better find somewhere to
this.
save.
Autosave is the new tip off now.
Yeah.
Ooh, these games do autosave, don't they?
I think they do, yeah.
Yeah.
If you get like a game over, it does autosave at a certain point. Like there's like checkpoints. I think. Yeah. I was watching a playthrough of someone to like catch up on today's episode, and
I hope that's right.
yeah.
Now that we've said it,
I'm pretty sure because I didn't get to watch like all of like the playthrough. I was just kind of just skimming, and it was at the part where we were talking about where you have to attack like the trolley or whatever the fuck you have to do in real time, the trolley cart question.
Yeah.
They died during that, and then we're like, oh fuck, like am I gonna have to watch the opening cinematic and all of that shit again? Like am I gonna have to do all of that? And then it was just like Titus and Aaron running towards that right before that.
yeah.
So I think it's pretty forgiving in that way. I could be wrong. We'll probably find
You can
out.
cut all this out if we're wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure. No, I'm like,
Every FNFF accepts no responsibility for lost saves.
especially if you're playing on Switch versions, which are likely to crash.
So we get back to the nice. We get back to the little campsite, I guess. The bundle of wood just kind of laying. I have that exact picture.
Another gummy Titus.
Oh my God. Yeah, I got it too. God damn it! We just keep showing each other our Switches and these like stupid fucking pictures of Titus. This whole season's gonna be a disaster.
Yeah.
Because like every time we say
It's just
anything,
like, look
it's just
how
gonna be the
dumb-
three of us.
Everyone on this audio medium, check out how dumb Titus looks.
But yeah, so we were able to finally light the campfire with the withered bouquet and the flint.
Bonfire lit.
Yeah.
Bonfire lit.
Thank you, Alex.
And Titus just goes, I need food. And then like
Relatable.
lays down on his back. Yeah, fair enough. But he like passes out, right? And has
Yeah.
like another little dream. A dream within a dream within a dream.
Yeah, who the fuck can keep track of all these
Yeah,
dreams
at this point.
How far in are we?
Oh yeah, how many? Well, we have to like listen to the background music and then see if we speed it up where it makes sense at. That's how we'll know. So yeah, Titus has this dream and he's back on his fucking house yacht boat.
Oh yeah, and there's a nice little Instagram filter over it. It's a
There
nice
is
sepia tone.
It's let's find out.
I think I missed this. I missed the dream.
Well, I'll tell you what we're gonna do.
It's
Do you want
weird
to
dream.
describe the dream while I go on Instagram
To find
and
the
I
exact-
find the filter?
Hell yeah. Titus is just doing a classic anime pose where he's got his both of his hands behind his head. And he says, "What do you want?" And then like Aaron is just in the doorway and he says, "It was a bad call. Your team lost because of you."
What a fucking dick.
No, that rules. Fuck Titus.
Okay, yeah.
And then Titus just says,
You came to say that?
and then Aaron, I don't think I missed any dialogue, but I might have. Forgive me if I did. But Aaron says,
It's been 10 years.
I thought you'd be. Oh, he says,
said,
I thought you'd be crying.
Yeah.
Because he's absolutely just owning Titus again. And Titus says, who, me? And then, like, that weird ethereal child.
The ethereal
he
child.
just, like, vapes in.
he vapes in.
And he just says,
You cried.
and then I think he just disappears, or it just goes back to,
It's
like,
just everybody just owning Titus over and
you're
over.
gonna cry, you little baby. I thought you'd be crying because you made a bad call and let your team down.
Okay, so I've determined that there's not really anything that's that heavy, but the closest one I got is the Rise filter.
Hell yeah.
So if you're on Instagram in the year of our Lord 2020, it's like
Using
the,
filters in the year of our Lord 2020.
it's like the fourth from the end. So there you go. So Titus has a dream about getting his fucking shit owned, about making a bad call in Blitzball.
Hell yeah.
And then it shows him back in the real world, I guess. Yeah.
It shows him back in the atrium.
The fire's all burnt out.
Fire's all burnt out. Weirdly, he fell asleep laying down. Now he's in like a sitting up fetal position.
Sitting up fetal position, yeah.
And,
It's like hugging his knees.
Yeah, and again, one of these cool like cinematic like angles happens where it's like kind of blurred and like weird. Like you can tell that they're trying to say like, hey, someone's watching, and it's like moving around really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then it just shows Titus like huddled like with his like arms over his knees and stuff, and he's like clearly very cold.
But he snaps out of it. Or he wakes up. I guess he heard something, or it's just the fact that it's like. But
The
I will say
fire
this,
is like on the brink of going out.
yeah, and I will say for as much crap as I give Titus all the time, would not want to be in this situation
I would be a
myself.
much bigger baby than Titus is
at
here.
this point, yeah. This is like the one time that I'm like, all right, you get this one, Titus.
Yeah, I like
does
how
look like it sucks.
I like how much shit I give to Titus, but I guarantee when we do Final Fantasy VIII, I'll be like, no, Squall's right to be an asshole.
No,
here.
I know. I'm ready to be like,
No,
Squall is
Squall's
justified every
Squall's
time.
actually cool when he refuses to answer anyone and only
I know.
speaks in an ellipses.
Yeah, when somebody's like, I'm lost. Can you help me find my class? And he's like, no. I'm going to be like, what a hero.
Yeah, this dude rules.
This guy fucking rules. So, yeah.
So yeah, Titus starts kind of like freaking out a little bit.
Oh, he sees
like,
the
he's like,
fire.
hey, don't go out. Like
he's like, oh, wait.
he's like, fuck, like survival
I like
now
the, like,
dwindling.
we get like a POV shot from the point of view of the fire. And like Titus is like looking at us.
God,
and
I
he
wish
like
that
puts
were
his
me.
hands out like, no, wait, don't do that. And he's like looking around like super hectically. He's like, I'll find something to
Yeah.
keep the fire going. And he's freaking out.
And then we see a fucking Final Fantasy looking ass enemy appear.
Oh my God, this fucking enemy appears.
Yeah.
I actually think it's fucking dope as shit.
Yeah, it's
personally.
awesome.
Yeah.
I say that in like the highest compliment of ways.
Yeah.
Like I wish to look like a Final Fantasy ass enemy.
It's called a click with
Like the click.
with 3 Ks.
Yeah, no good.
No relation.
No good.
No relation. Yeah, so it pops out and like from far away, I feel like it's you can't quite describe it. It's a quadrupedal animal.
It looks like a Halo enemy.
Yeah.
The more I look at it.
But what's fucking dope as shit is the way it attacks Titus. And like what I actually really like about it is it seems like a thing that a real animal would do. Right, like running around and trying to be
Oh,
like
yeah,
zigzag.
yeah.
So what it does is it like runs around this atrium, like it jumps on the walls and it's like running with such speed that it stays
Yeah.
on the walls, and it's like trying to get around behind Titus so it can like
Yeah.
ambush him. And I was like, that is terrifying. That is fucking scary as shit.
There's a boss fight in the Resident Evil 3 remake with like a nemesis boss fight that happens. It's very
Where it's like running
very
off.
similar
Yes.
to this, where you have to like shoot it off the building
clock
because it's
tower
just
and
like
everything.
circling you. Yeah,
Dude, I did not figure out actually how to do that until I had
it took
no
me a
ammo
while
left.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do that one a couple of times.
Good Resident Evil remake. Anyway, so yeah, the click jumps down, attacks Titus, but luckily by that point, Titus is ready. He has a sword drawn, and we get into a fight. This enemy looks dope as shit.
It's kind of like a xenomorph from Alien 3, but with blades for feet.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
okay, so all of its fucking limbs have like 3 blades on them. Or 4 blades? Zoom in.
Yeah,
Enhance.
which is this the
3
Schick?
blades.
Is this the Schick Quattro or is this the one with 5 blades?
Dude, this thing would give you such a close shave.
For me, it looks like each leg is 1 blade, but it has like fins on its head that are 2.
Yo, no, check it out. Okay,
Yeah, no.
so
it
it's like
looks
these blades.
multiple blades.
But if you let it stand there for a moment, it actually like widens out and shows you all 3 of the blades
Or-
that are on each of its fucking.
Oh my god.
Or it could be that weird blurring again that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's fucking menacing looking. So imagine like this creepy iguana, but all of its limbs are these long blades that are just like menacing as shit.
Yeah, it looks like a more like insect version of the hunters from Halo.
Yeah,
It's got a butthole.
it does. Yeah, and it looks like its butt has like a heart shape on it or something. It's interesting. We're gonna be talking about like animal butts a lot this season. So
A lot of holes this season.
Yeah, this is the second 2 episodes in a row so far.
Yep. I will say this, y'all. So again, you can technically just press A to win on this one. You can
Hell
just
yeah.
attack right through. Did you notice in the turn order sometimes Titus gets 2 attacks in a row?
I did.
He's like, and like as we go through the game, we'll talk about this more, but different characters have something kind of different that's special about them. One character will be like a ton of attack power, one will have a bunch of magic power, one will be good at healing, yada yada yada. Titus is like, he can just attack over and fucking over again. He's so fast.
Hell yeah.
That's like his thing. He's just always
yeah.
insane. I love it. So like, there's all kinds of like tricks we can end up doing with Titus just because he gets so many fucking turns all the time.
Fuck yeah.
So this is like, I feel like this is the first time that I'm like, nice. Like I just get to move twice.
Yeah.
Like just in case. So yeah, fucking he rules in that aspect. Yeah.
I really like to think that it's like a nod to Final Fantasy 1, which it completely isn't, but when you use haste and you just get like, you do 2 attacks or whatever, like 4 hits or whatever.
yeah,
It's just the same thing, but in like a real time way.
Yeah,
Where you're
yeah,
like,
where you
dude,
actually
he's
have to put
so
in
fucking
4.
fast. He just like hits him, runs back, and hits him again.
I know. It's so good. Yeah, he runs back to position. He has time to do that 4 times in a row. Or
It's the
whatever, yeah.
SpongeBob joke where he's like, "You want to see me run to that mountain and back?" You want to see me do it again?
Yeah.
But,
So then we get interrupted
yeah.
during
Yes.
this boss fight. I don't think there's really too much to say about this boss fight, right?
No.
Yeah.
Just
Is it a boss fight?
It's like a mini boss, or it's hard to say.
no, I guess it's not because it doesn't have the like differentiator boss. Like the
Oh,
last
you're
thing.
right. Yeah.
In
That's true.
the help menu at the top, it's just A click,
Yeah, you're right.
starring Adam Sandler.
There's pirates here now.
So there's pirates here now. Yeah. So
They look dope as shit. They
one
look
of the
like
doors
fucking,
to the atrium blows up. It just fucking straight
Yeah.
explodes.
Yeah.
And like the big stone doors just go flying into the fucking room. And now there's pirates.
Hell yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Carl.
No, I was just saying they look like fucking like Borderlands characters.
The first one that walks in is the Borderlands guy from the
from
cover of the
series,
Borderlands.
The
game.
Borderlands.
Mr. Borderland.
Mr. Borderland.
Borderlands.
Al Borderland himself. And yeah.
Pretty much everyone has goggles.
Everybody got goggles.
Real steampunk.
Super steampunk. And they all have like rifles with like bayonets on them.
Yeah, yeah.
Fucking dope as shit. One of them is an old man who's balding on top.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's getting
yeah.
too old for this shit.
He's 1 day from retirement. And someone who looks like their leader probably walks in as well.
Yeah.
And kind of like stands in front of him. And I base the leader thing only on they don't have a weapon, but they stand in front of everybody, like in front of the fucking guns, which seems like a good place to be standing. And are they just like super aloof looking, right?
Yeah.
Just like, I don't give a shit. They have like their hands on their hips and shit like that, and just like, I'm about to fuck everybody up in this room.
Yeah, and then like does a really cool animation with
Oh, they're like flexing their wrist.
yeah,
they're just like, okay,
like
here we
squaring
go.
up, like they got like fingerless gloves on. And
Yeah, they're like real badass. So like the 4 pirates that walk in first are visibly men, and this one's the first woman character to walk in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she rolls in again. She has goggles on and like a face mask thing going on, and like a ponytail, I guess. Would you call that?
It's like a bun, like
Yeah.
a high ponytail that's
a
like
messy bun, maybe.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Her hair's up.
Google.com. But yeah, she's got like a cool like red and yellow like wetsuit thing on with like a Tetsuya Nomura number of belts and straps.
Yeah.
The thing is, each time if I'm playing this in low lighting, the yellow looks like skin tone. I get real confused for a second.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this? Okay.
You're like, did Kojima make this outfit? What the fuck? And then he says there's really important lore implications, and then he's like, you'll feel bad about it later.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, dude, just fucking cool it.
It's okay. He's horny towards all genders.
It's true. You're not allowed to look at Norman Reedus's penis for too long in Death Stranding.
Right. I will say that like, whereas with Titus, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. There's at least one piece of costuming for this character right here that I was like, oh, that kind of makes sense. They have like forearm flippers.
Yeah.
And I was like, that probably helps them swim.
Yeah,
And there's
more-
been so much swimming in this episode.
Yeah, there's like they look like they're made of leather, which is really cool.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, that was pretty cool. But yeah, they do the fucking cool wrist flex thing, and they just jump in the battle with you. They're like, all right, let's fuck this thing up.
Yep.
So like the dudes who have like obvious guns or whatever, who could like just shoot it from far away, she's like, no, this is gonna be this is all me, baby.
I'm gonna do this the old-fashioned way.
old-fashioned way.
And we learn her name here, which is question mark, which is cool.
It's just like that spell in FF1. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
I was
It's a
getting
homage.
Or the back and forth we had about how many question marks there were in Final Fantasy VII for different moves and shit.
I was getting ready to say, I was gonna be like, this is our second playable character, and once again forget about Orin.
I also forgot about
Just
Orin.
saw the man.
Yeah, he was a part of a tutorial that taught us very necessary skills.
Yeah. Speaking of tutorials
Yeah.
and learning new skills,
Hell yeah.
the very first thing that happens as soon as she joins the battle is we get another little tutorial
Yeah.
using grenades.
It's an important tutorial to know.
Yeah. So this character has, I guess all characters, but Titus doesn't have any yet, are going to have special commands that are related to them. So this character has a command called use, and they come with one called steal, which, steal. We learned that from FF7 and all these other games, steal an item from the enemy. Yeah. But use is to use like attack items. So like in FF7, anybody could throw a grenade just by selecting it out of the menu, and you just throw it and do damage, right? No problem. This game is not like that. Like, you have to have the command used to be able to do those item commands.
Yeah.
Eventually, there will be healing items that are also that way that you have to use the use command for. You can't actually just go to items and use them. And they're usually like stronger versions of the things that you would be using through the item command.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty cool. But yeah, so we learn how to use the use command here.
Use guys.
Use guys. But she does a fuckload of damage with the grenades.
Yeah.
And you can also steal more grenades from this enemy.
Yeah, why is the click carrying all these grenades?
I got a lot of questions about the ease at which you can steal grenades from things.
Yeah. Oh, I will say this. This is cool. So
I don't cost us just save a move and just steal the pin.
yeah. I don't think it was this way in FF7 or any of the ones before. I'm not sure. Let's go back and look. But in this game, you can steal multiple times from an enemy.
Oh, okay. I tried that at one point, but I think the second time it was like couldn't steal anything. And I was like, okay, couldn't steal anything by Final Fantasy VII logic means there's still something to steal.
Yes.
I was like, but I'm going to
You already stole something, yeah. So.
Yeah, but so I didn't test it any further.
And I know that you can do that in some of the earlier ones, like 9, you could steal more than one thing from enemies.
Nice.
But yeah, this one continues that tradition. And after we beat the click, we get experience. Is it the first experience that we get?
I think it is.
I think it is. And Titus levels up no matter what. And goes to S level 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this game doesn't have levels.
It has soul levels.
Soul levels.
like in
He's now
Dark
soul
Souls.
level 1.
What is the color of your soul?
You also get 2 ability spheres, and then like so many times in the Final Fantasy series, but especially in Final Fantasy X for whatever reason, the battle is over and the cutscene opens up back square onto a shot of this new character's butt. Just
Very gratuitously, especially because they're wearing some sort of like harness.
Yeah.
Like if you were rock climbing, you'd wear a harness kind of thing, but it's just very much looks like a thong.
It's a jock strap.
It's a jock strap.
The thing is, I remember saying in 7, I think, I was like, you know what? I feel like they grow up a little bit after 7. I take that back. Yeah. I take that back. Because this is not the only time in this episode that this exact shot is going to be done.
Yeah.
So,
this character's a little double cheeked up. And they
a little double cheeked up.
And they make it known. Yeah, it tilts up and then shows, more of her.
Yeah, and she takes her goggles off, and that is the necessary action for Titus to realize that this is a woman. Mm-hmm. And he goes, whoa, and he has like that, like, he does like the double take or whatever. So Titus is like the simpest.
Yeah.
Like William Shakespeare's The Simpest. Yeah.
This is just like the end of
easy.
Solo, Star Wars story, where they show that girl and everyone's like, am I supposed to know who this is? And Miss Gazgano.
Anyway, he says, woo, that was close. And then that cool old man, that cool balding pirate man grabs Titus by the hair and like holds
it's so
him up.
good, yeah.
And like Titus in his sonic voice is like, ooh, let me go. I'm sorry, I gotta think. Anyway.
I do really like that, like as this is all happening, they kind of like surround him as Titus is like flailing around. And the one like Borderlands guy like has a long like musket or whatever, and like the bayonet that he has is literally just like a knife that is like tied on with like string towards the end of it.
It's sick.
It's
That's
sick.
what it is. Yeah. But yeah, so they surround him and they're all aiming guns at him, and one of them literally puts a knife against his throat, and they're speaking in a different language.
Yeah.
Right.
And when we say different language too, like we've talked about this a little already, but it's all like English characters. There's not like weird symbols.
It's not like Cyrillic or something like that.
It's not like Elfish in Lord of the Rings or anything.
Yeah.
It's like the alphabet that we know. It's just phonetically saying it back to us, I guess.
Yeah, right. So
just so you know that it's not in English if you're reading with subtitles.
Yeah. So just so you know, like it's not really an important piece, and I figured we'd get to eventually, but we may as well just go ahead and do it here. It's literally just every consonant is switched with another English consonant, and every vowel is switched with another English vowel. So everything's still pronounceable because of the way that English works, where you can pronounce vowels next to consonants, no problem.
Yeah.
But you just switch them all around. So what's a 3? Cat, right? Instead of a C, you just pick another letter, T, and instead of A, it's O, and instead of T, it's what? G, Tog. Okay, so now the word's Tog.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how it works. That's how the thing works. Anyway.
But there are also some things that are are in a different color. So when they're speaking in just like their language, it's all like white.
Yeah.
But if there's pink, I think that indicates...
If there's a word that you understand, yeah.
So like, for example, the one guy who's like wearing a visor and has like blonde hair like spiked up like Scotty 2 Hotty from wrestling. He says, "Why fiend?"
Yeah, the word fiend.
Like "why" is in the other language, and then this the rest of it is whatever language they're speaking.
And I feel like the kind of I want to say cadence maybe to the language and the words kind of is like Slavic-esque.
Yeah, I could.
Like if you want like a kind of a general idea of how to say these words or whatever. Like, I feel like that kind of is how they're pronouncing it and using like their consonants at the end of words very forcefully. If that makes sense. Yeah. They fucking are holding up Titus and they hold a fucking knife to his throat. And the leader of the group is like, she says something, kind of puts her hand out. So like, assuming don't kill this person or like don't do this or whatever. And they like point the knife at her and she says something else and they chill out a little bit and let him go. And they're like, all right, so she's convinced them to spare our lives, I guess. And then she just walks up to us and like gets real close to Titus's ear and says, Kuno. And then just fucking punches the shit out of him, just like right in the gut. And like, hits him in the gut so hard that he blacks out.
It's so good.
I was like, God damn, just fucking lays him the fuck out.
And I think, is that her like moveset style in the battles? Because I pretty much just hucked grenades the whole time and didn't pay attention. But does she just like punch? Is she like...
She like uppercuts.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So we have our Tifa.
Yeah. She kind of like, it's kind of cool. She like gets really close to them and then does like a really tight squat where she's really low to the ground and then does like a jumping uppercut. And that's like her attack.
So I wonder if she's like the monk class.
Ooh.
I guess we'll find out.
Do you guys want to take a break?
Yeah, I think that...
Because we passed out.
Yeah.
We're fucked up now. We're going to have to recover.
Yeah.
Hungry, need food.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these McDonald's. In the interim, we have all signed up for the U.S. Army's streaming esports team.
And their Discord.
We
are troops now, so you have to respect us.
You have to support us. I can't think of any good scathing joke. Might just want to leave that one out. All right, so what are we doing now? We passed out again.
We got knocked the fuck out.
How many dreams are we at now?
I know. What level are we at now? This has got to be the bottom one.
Okay, so how many times did Titus get owned just today in this episode?
Oh, God.
I think we're up to like 3.
Yeah, we may be.
Well, he almost got vored by Gazgano.
It's true.
Is that owned or is that good?
Yeah, that's up for the listener to decide.
It's fine if he'd just be holding on the rib cage like he's in prison.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
rattling a cup against his like rib cage.
He uses his sword to play like the xylophone part of Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Yeah. This is the funky town.
The Rugrats theme.
Yeah.
I wish, because we don't have a Tifa piano this season.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, when the screen comes back up, we are back out on ye open sea.
Yeah.
And like, not ruinous rubble sea this time. Old open.
Just open sea.
Open sea.
Yeah. And there's a really fucking kick-ass looking boat, I guess.
It's what is
ship?
It's a ship. It's like a like I was gonna say a scavenger ship. I mean, it is
an ultra yacht.
An ultra yacht. No, this is the working man's boat.
Yeah, this is a working man's boat.
Yeah, this boat probably
this
has...
is a blue collar boat.
Yeah, the workers on this boat probably have a union of some kind. So
hell yeah, critical support to this boat.
Critical support to this boat. But yeah, so we're on it. And the very first thing that starts happening is this fucking dude's just beating the shit out of Titus.
Yeah, so like Titus is like laying down on like a metal grating, like and kind of wakes up and is all like intentionally blurry this time to be like, hey, Titus is coming to. Like he was knocked the fuck out. And then this dude with the bayonet just comes up to him and is like screaming at him in the in that language.
In that language, yeah.
Lufian? Is that what this language is called? Yeah, Titus is just like
Hey, that hurts!
sees that they're like getting ready to fucking kill him, and he's like, "All right, okay, guys."
Yeah, they literally aim the guns at him. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Haha, just kidding.
Whoa.
And it seems like this ship is scanning the waters, right? Like there's these like super powerful searchlights kind of going out.
Yeah.
But that girl who was in charge earlier comes out along with another cool looking dude.
Insanely tatted.
I thought it was blue chest hair at first.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past a Final Fantasy game
All right.
to have that.
So this dude is wearing like
Overalls.
straight rubber fucking fish pants with giant grommets on the side
Hell yeah.
and just two suspenders, right? No shirt, just the suspenders holding the pants up, going over his back. And like his whole body has these blue flame tattoos. He looks sick as fuck.
Fuck yeah. Do you remember when blue flames were like a cool thing? Like they had those like Chuck Taylors that had flames on it, but you could also get the blue flames on it.
I don't.
Well, you missed out.
I guess I did.
I think I had those Chuck Taylors when I was in like 7th grade.
I would like to get a picture of that so we can put
If
it on
I
the
can
Instagram.
find it. I still need to find the picture of me as Vincent Valentine when I was like
No, yeah.
14 on Halloween.
Oh yeah, also this dude has a sick fucking blonde spiked mohawk.
Hell yeah. And
God, what a winner. This is a winner.
he's got a whole ear filled with hoop earrings. Which is
Oh, he
really cool,
does?
going all the way up his ear.
Yeah.
My guitar teacher had that when I was like,
Really?
I always thought that was cool as shit.
I will say that when we get to Final Fantasy X2 one day, we will feel very differently about this character. But right now, though, as presented in Final Fantasy X, cool as shit.
Hell yeah.
But he comes out, also screams at us in another language.
He's holding something.
Yes, that's right.
And
you're
he's
right.
like gesturing towards Titus, and he kind of starts doing a game of like charades.
Yeah, because he sees that we don't understand what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
So he kind of like points at us, points at the water, makes a swimming motion. and
All
he-
while like grunting.
He's like grunting. He's like,
It's like the sounds in Ocarina of Time when you swing your sword.
and yeah, and then like after he does all that, he kind of looks back at us and then says something again, like quizzically. And Titus is getting like upset. He's like, I don't understand. I said I don't understand.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's getting all, he's like, Titus.
And then
goodness.
the woman who beat the shit out of us says,
You said you can stay if you make yourself useful.
"You understand me?"
Yeah. So she apparently speaks English or whatever languages
Yeah.
Titus speaks that we understand as English. Yeah. And he says, all right, I'll work.
Yeah, they talk a little bit more, and then
You can actually walk around the deck here a little bit.
yeah. Did you talk to any of them at all?
I did.
And I'm sure it's probably a lot different than what it would be in my game. I didn't even think to do that. I like just went right up to the character who I can communicate with, and I talked to, and it kicked me right into a tutorial.
Yeah. Well, okay, so you can walk around the deck, you can save. And I will say, like I said, I don't want to point out everything that all the characters say or whatever.
Yeah.
And but the last thing that the guy with the mohawk says or whatever, like when he's like talking to you and trying to get you, he goes, "Are you not able to speak?" He's like concerned all of a sudden. He's like,
Tui hud kabeg?
"Oh my God, you can't speak." And he's like concerned, and that's like the last thing he says to you. But anyway, and one of these guys gives you a potion, or he'll give you like 2 potions or whatever if you talk to him. And again, this is all in that other language. But again, I'll point this one out because it's pretty funny too. He says, "Look, if you're near death, and I mean really near death, you can use these." Also, when you're walking around, I think you can get it later because I saw Carl, you took a picture of it. There's also an item on the ship as well.
Okay, so I think I did that after the tutorial
Because
when
we
you-
get another time to walk around the deck too.
Yeah, you get thrown into this tutorial, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And then you're like in the next part of the game where you're just swimming around.
Yeah.
But you also have the option to go back up on the deck. So that's when I jumped up and I saved and I got this item.
Okay, yeah. So there's another item, and we'll find these all over throughout the course of the game. And they're almost like a mini Where's Waldo, because they're always like obscured by something, or they're really small on the screen, or we have to walk behind something and find them. And it'll just be a recurring thing throughout the game. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's a reward for paying attention.
Yeah.
And like really looking at the screen.
And exploring a little bit.
Yeah. But they're essentially like these little small books, and they're called Albed primers. which we haven't been introduced to it yet.
I think it might have said it at the ruin structure that we were in earlier.
Yeah, but we haven't like in universe in lore really learned yet.
Exactly. We just like saw that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll find out about it, but I'm not too worried about spoiling it right now. The language is called the Albed language.
Which, it says it right here. The secrets of the Albed language are revealed.
Right.
When you get that item, and it says Y in the white font, and then an arrow pointing over it to A.
Yeah. So basically, the letter Y, whenever we see it pop up, actually is the English letter A.
Yeah.
So and from now on, when we talk to characters, anytime they would have used that Y, it'll go ahead and give us the A.
Yeah, and thinking back to the conversation that I had with the guy, like when he first busted in, and it said the word fiend in pink, he was saying a fiend. So I guess he looked at what we were fighting and said a fiend, or maybe he thinks Titus is a fiend.
He was talking about Titus. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, because I think it was after we killed the.
Yeah, it was after we killed us. Yeah.
Yeah, but I also like that I was looking at that, and
he basically is like a fiend in human form.
But I like that I was looking at that, and it said Y equals A, and then I looked over at my Joy-Con because I'm playing on Switch, and I saw Y and A next to each other, and then I was like, wait a second. Like, the A on the Switch is not the A on any other controller because Nintendo has that backwards.
The Y.
I think, Nintendo patented that, so no one else could do that. I'm pretty sure. So I'm just like, X on every controller is different. A on most controllers are fucking different. Like, God damn it.
now Y equals A? Fuck.
Yeah. Press X to cancel or circle to confirm.
God, I cannot wait to Final Fantasy VIII. God.
Before we get to that tutorial,
Okay.
it says, Titus has achieved the rank of Albed Hujala.
Yeah, so as you learn, I feel like they have like words for outsiders trying to learn the language of like how much of the culture and the language that outsider understands.
Yeah, when you collect all of them, you become the Albed Muad'Dib.
But yeah, let's like you were saying. Once you talk to this character who's been fighting with us, this mystery girl, it gives us a tutorial.
Yeah,
right. And this is the leveling system.
Yeah, this is the materia. This is the leveling. This is everything all scrunched up into one.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, this is the junction system on steroids. Kind of.
Except it's weird because, and I don't mean this in a negative way. Like I really don't. But like 7, 8, 9 even, there's a lot of customization that you could give each of your characters or whatever, where like the different equipment that you equip, the different materia you equip, your junctioning really allowed you to take characters on weird paths, right?
Yeah.
So this is the sphere grid system. And for 7/8 of the game, we're just on a path.
Yeah.
There's no making your characters any different. There's no real switching around stuff to make them this way or that way. It's pretty determined how these characters are going to grow.
Yeah, and it's
a game of life.
Yeah, it's like the game
life.
Mousetrap.
It's like real life.
Yeah, we're on a predetermined path that we cannot stray from.
To
Final
death.
Fantasy VII.
Yeah, we're on this train. But yeah.
So the way this kind of works is we see the interface for it, and it's got like these little like.
How would you describe this interface?
I would describe it as some sort of sphere grid. No, but it's kind of like a board game, like a Mario Kart or Mario Party, like a Mario Kart board game. No, Mario Party kind of style where your character is like placed at a specific node.
Yeah.
And with those sphere levels that we were talking about earlier, those SL levels, that gives us the ability to move on this grid.
Yeah, move your piece one node.
And there's certain nodes that have certain corresponding like level up things. Like,
yeah, right.
I forget what they're called.
Yeah, because we don't really level up like normal in this game, right? Like we can never say that Titus is a level 50 because there is no level 50.
Right.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Skyrim's skill tree.
It's very similar to Skyrim's skill tree, which like in Skyrim you still get the main levels that level you up, but then you have all these different abilities that have different levels themselves, and then from there you can branch off to be like, oh, I want to be do more damage when I use this bow. So it's like similar in that sense where it's like the first ability that it kind of tutorializes.
Except there's no option in this. You just fucking follow the predetermined path.
Yeah, and there's a path that you have to follow. So there's things that you might be like, okay, well, I don't want to waste this other item that we got.
It branches off a few times. I guess you decide later if you want to prioritize that.
Well, the thing
those
is,
ability points, right?
So there are several branches, but they're locked out.
Yeah.
And so there's things that say L and then a dot and then a level number, and that's the lock level on it. And we'll get to that like halfway through the game, yeah.
Yeah. So, and importantly, you pretty much just, right now with Titus's like sphere grid, we can only move forward. We can only move in one direction. The first thing is like there's an ability thing, and then after that there's like a defense one and an attack one. And when you defeat enemies, you'll get certain types of spheres, right? What are the things called?
Yeah, spheres.
And
ability spheres.
Ability spheres. Yeah.
Well, there's different kinds of them, like you were saying. So there's ability spheres. So when we land on a node or are adjacent to a node that has an ability inside of it,
we can unlock that.
You can unlock that with an ability sphere
by using the sphere, which we have a limited amount.
If it's something that increases your agility or your evasion, you use a speed sphere. Attack and defense is a power sphere.
Yeah.
And then there's magic sphere. And then there's
the mana sphere.
What?
The mana sphere.
Then the mana sphere.
Yeah.
And then the stratosphere. And then and then the vlogosphere. Goodness. Anyway,
that's where you find selfie in the blogosphere.
That will also be a good joke like multiple seasons from now.
There's another joke I want to make about Selfie's diary and the mystery language that we're talking about now, but I'm like it would make Curtis laugh, but I can't.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it.
So basically, we're using our levels, like our level ups, to move that piece around and gain stats as we go through the game. Stats and abilities.
And another important thing is you can skip over stats. Like nothing is preventing you from being like,
yeah, you could skip over one if you want.
Like, oh, I don't want this ability. Like the first ability it shows you for Titus is cheer, and you can be like, okay, well, I don't want that. I don't want to use an ability sphere for that.
Let me give you a hint, listener. Do not skip over cheer.
Hell yeah, it's good as hell.
It's good as hell.
But like just for example, like if you do skip over it and you continue on, and then you're like, oh shit, I want to go back and get that. You can use a soul level to go back 4 spaces.
Yeah.
Instead of just going forward 1.
Yeah, if you've actually so when you cross in between nodes, the line that connects those 2 nodes becomes highlighted in your character's corresponding color. So I think Titus's is like teal or something like that, or maybe it's green. I can't remember what it is. But
yeah, it's like blue.
But it'll highlight in that character's color. And then if that pathway has highlighted your color, you can move multiple times using only one node or one sphere level.
Yeah. So it's not like, I think in the tutorial itself it says like it's not very efficient to do it that way, but it's an option.
Yeah. Well, eventually when we get toward the end of it and we're filling everything out and we have to go back to find things that we missed or whatever, like we'll be doing that at that point.
Yeah, you'll have to optimize your sphere grid movement.
So there's so much more to it, but like that's a pretty good overview.
It already
I think.
like kind of doesn't make sense. Like it's something that like when I was playing this for the first time, I was like, oh fuck this. I don't even want to learn this. This seems way too complicated. I don't like, but like this time around, I'm kind of like, oh cool. Like this is an interesting system that I'm excited to like dig into. It's not like,
once it really opens up in the late game, it becomes really good.
Yeah.
It's just that right now, for a good long time, we're like locked into that path with each character. But like end game, when we start being able to bust those locks open, it gets real wild.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just it's interesting that it's so like streamlined.
Yeah. Right. Well, and to a good effect, I think. But we'll get into that.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, after we're done with this tutorial, we're talking to this mystery character who speaks the same language we do. And she says, we found some ancient ruins beneath us. It's not active now, but there should still be power left. We're going to go down there and activate it. And then we should be able to
salvage the big prize.
Hell yeah.
Which I love that. She just says, let's get to work. And Titus jumps right overboard, ready to go.
Before he jumps overboard, he gives
son of a bitch.
The weirdest little thumbs up.
Oh, you're right.
He turns back and gives like a pathetic thumbs up, and it's great, and I love it.
It's really silly. I'm glad you brought that up.
You should have done finger guns. It would have been much more cool.
Oh, I have that picture of it.
Yeah, it's dumb.
What a fucking God! What a tool.
It's goofy. It's not. I won't. I'm gonna be nicer to Titus. I'm gonna try to be nicer to Titus. It's goofy.
Oh, it is goofy. But
not to be confused with Donald Duck.
That's scamp.
So we're in the water again. So we're on the high wind. so we're in the water. And this time it looks like the salvage ship has like anchored itself to these ruins by gigantic chain.
Hell yeah.
And it's cool. Anytime I see a fucking gigantic chain in a game, I'm like, yeah.
More of that. Yeah.
More of that.
There's a lot of that in Demon Souls.
Yeah.
Just in the sky, and it's very scary.
Underwater areas always freaked me out when I was little.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, and this one's pretty dark too.
it's pretty dark. I mean, I'm better about it now. Like, it's just foggy.
Yeah, yeah.
Would you be better about it now if while you're playing this, it plays the Sonic theme that you when you're drowning?
I forget the level, but there was a level in Banjo-Kazooie where it was a giant shark that was also like made of. It was really gross. It was kind of fleshy, but it was also made of metal. But that like level really freaked me out.
No,
There was a lot of
awesome.
swimming.
Hell yeah.
Anyway,
What about that Super Mario 64 one with the eel?
Oh, hell yeah. That eel is scary. Weird thing about that, though. Very stressful level because you're running out of breath. But, like, one of the greatest video game music songs of all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's people usually say it's Dire Dire Docks. I think on the soundtrack it would make more sense to call it Jolly Roger Bay, but that's my weird little nitpick about people being like Dire Dire Docks. Because the first level that you hear that song in is Jolly Roger Bay. So we're in Jolly Roger Bay.
The clock tower is the best song. So anyway, so we're in the water, and we're descending. And once again, we're able to swim around and kind of descend holding the B button.
Yeah.
And we can get into random encounters here.
Yeah, finally.
Finally, random
nice.
encounters!
Hell yeah.
With
And
piranhas.
We fight, really weird enemy here.
It's interesting.
So,
It's
and
interesting.
I was
isn't
like,
it?
oh, okay, cool. Piranha, that's very Final Fantasy. Like, we just did a whole season where we...
Did you
like,
run into 3 piranhas?
I did. And I was very confused because the first battle that I had was 3 piranhas, but there was Mon A and Mon B. And I didn't
And
even
no
really,
Mon C.
I didn't even really pay attention. I just rolled through them. I tried to steal from them. You can also steal grenades from them.
Yeah, you can.
It's just fucking weird. But like these
Have you
things
never
are
gone
just
fishing, Carl?
That's true. Yeah, grenades are the cheat code to fishing. You just chuck it in the water and. Yeah, but I just went through and I was like, oh, okay, I only had to kill...
That's why they have park rangers, is so that you don't like fucking steal all the grenades from the fish. Like,
I thought you were going to say so that you don't go into the lake and throw grenades in there in an attempt to fish.
I'm returning to nature what came from it. Yeah, throwing grenades.
Yeah, but you only have to kill 2 of them, even though there's 3 in
Well,
the
here's
battle.
the thing.
But and at first I was just like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then later on, I fought clusters of 3 of them, but there was only one thing that you could target.
So they randomly are in clusters of 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
And they actually have more HP the more are in each cluster.
And I think they might do
Interesting.
more damage as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, they do.
So, which is cool.
That's cool.
But I was just like, oh, that's weird. Like, I'm so used to being like, oh, there's 9 piranhas
Yeah.
in front of me in
I will
Final
say-
Fantasy 1. I got to kill them all.
Completely this is overly efficient kind of thing. It really doesn't matter. But your mystery character cannot kill the 2 or 3 stacks on their own.
Oh,
so they actually have to take on the 1. If you want to one-shot them, and I'm all about that efficiency, baby. So I was like, oh no, this is useless. But anyway, that's really the only enemy here though, right?
Yeah. And
But we're descending toward a fucking rad-ass fucking technology hallway sticking out of the rocks.
yeah, so it's really cool looking. I think there's also when you get into this hallway, there's it looks like Microsoft Windows DOS screens or
Yeah.
command line screens just all along the side.
Yeah.
And Titus goes up to this one
Oh my god.
tablet that's in the
There's
front.
like a command console for a closed door in this hallway. Like you can't go through it. So there's this big command console.
Yeah, so you go up in a video game and you hit a couple of buttons and open it. But the way Titus does it is he just starts fucking wailing on it.
Immediately.
Yeah, just no hesitation, just starts fucking punching it.
And his punch animation is so weird and half-assed.
Yeah.
He's just like,
This is going to be a very region specific joke, but it's like if I walked into Wawa and I was like, I really want an Italian hoagie, and I just start fucking punching the touchscreen, and then they just give me a hoagie, and I'm
yeah,
like,
no, it works.
sick, yeah.
It works. He doesn't hit it hard enough to break it. But the thing he accepts it. It's look, if somebody wants in bad enough, we're just gonna shut it down and let them in.
It's the same tech that they use at the soda machine at Wendy's. It's just very
yeah,
unresponsive. It's really unresponsive because they have a protective screen on it.
Yeah,
so
yeah, it's the Coke machines where you can mix the flavors together.
I'm pretty sure that the person who developed this technology was the Fonz.
Hey.
It works.
that hallway emerges into like a cylindrical room that has like some piping in the middle.
Another atrium.
Another atrium.
Like
but
a
this one's
cyber
underwater cyber atrium, if you will. And that connects to another hallway that we immediately go toward.
The colors in this place are really cool.
I
This is
love
a
it.
really
I
beautiful
love it.
area.
Really nice blues and reds. I
Yeah.
thought were like, it's just like, ooh, this is really modern and really nice.
I really like this area.
Get me excited for Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyway,
But we come up to like some power source here.
Yes. And Titus wails on it.
Yeah, I think he just punches it again, right?
Yeah, he just punches it again.
Yeah, it's literally just Fonzie magic the whole
and like
time.
this time he's not even punching like a control panel.
He's just punching like the coil.
Yeah.
Like the power source.
he just starts punching it.
He's like, I don't need safety gloves because I'm Homer Simpson.
Here's the moment in the game where I'm like, I am way too hard on Titus so far for like literally no reason. Like I don't really have too much like memory beyond.
He's
like,
just so cool that he doesn't need to actually be precise.
But here's the thing that I was like Barrett did the same exact fucking thing, only way more intense by just shooting everything. And I was like, yo, fuck yeah, that rules. And
Yeah,
when
but
Titus
there's-
does it, I'm like, you fucking asshole.
There's a big difference in between the two.
No, wait.
That's
but
true.
what-
Barrett
but what-
is very cool.
But what about the button mini game?
Yeah.
3 people just wailing on a control console at the same time.
I have had the pleasure of watching some people play the original FF7 for the first time on Twitch.
Oh, hell yeah.
And I love it when there's like a crowd in chat. It'll be like a streamer who streamed multiple other games, so they have like 200 people in there at once.
Yeah.
And they're coming up to the fucking button mini game for the first time, and chat's just like, "Oh my god,
He
here
doesn't
it comes!"
know, yeah.
And people take bets on it and shit. They'll be like, "All right, everybody, get your bets out. How many times does it take?" And everybody's like, "I think this is gonna be a 6. This is gonna take him 6 tries." It's so good.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I'm
But
just saying Titus is only one guy, so it takes a lot more hits to hit a button.
Well, when he does, I guess he starts this machine up, but he like puts the whole place on like emergency or something. 'Cause
yeah, all the
everything turns
floodlights come
red.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, did he break it or did he get it working? Because all the emergency lights just came on.
I mean, it could be like a power cell or whatever. It's going to like
Yeah.
reserve power since he's
Yeah.
yoinking the battery out. Or whatever.
Either way, he opens up the doorways to it, and something comes after us, and we
Yeah.
like see it swimming up on us from its perspective.
Again, very cool.
Very cool.
Big fan of that.
But we go back out into the cyber atrium.
Yeah.
And the boss Tross is waiting for us. Tros.
I would say Tross.
T. Ross, you might say.
T. Ross.
T. Ross.
It's sort backwards. That's all
Holy
I-
shit, it is sort backwards.
Not that that means anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what that means, but yes, it is indeed. So it has 2 attacks, or it has 3 attacks, but it's 2 that it's using from the get-go is an attack where it slaps us with its tentacles, and then it has a move called Tentacles, where it does exactly the same animation, but does a little bit more damage.
Damn. What is
So,
the normal?
it's a squid.
So the normal one is just attack, like it's attack.
It just
or whatever?
attacks, yeah.
Damn.
So this is a squid.
It's a squid.
It's a Final Fantasy squid.
It's a Final Fantasy squid.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of what the fuck is it called in the?
It's kind of cute in a weird way.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
yeah. It's I looked at it and just thought of the fucking boss in Final Fantasy 1.
Kraken?
Yeah, the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except this one doesn't have like a magnificent robe.
Yeah, it's not as cool looking. It's more it looks more squid like.
But this battle introduces us to another mechanic. And let me just tell you again, from having played this game recently, we are going to be getting tutorials in this game till the last goddamn episode. This game just keeps being like, now that you've mastered all those, here's this.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god. But anyway, so it's going to introduce us to something new. Trigger commands.
Yeah.
So during the course of this fight, once you do enough damage to it, you can steal grenades from it, by the way. It will go around the other side of...
We're still underwater, by the way.
We are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wait, and this actually brings up something where we were talking earlier, where like, why can people just breathe underwater? That thing that the one guy with the cool tattoos gave to us, it looked like it was some sort of thing that like some sort of device that would
I
help
thought
you breathe
that was
underwater.
maybe the case, but we were already playing Blitzball.
I can't account for Blitzball other than maybe that's just like a thing that they put on in the locker room. Like that technology exists, so it makes
You just
sense.
practice holding your breath for 1 inning.
I think there's an answer to this, honestly, because the other thing on the menu where you can pick Final Fantasy X or Final Fantasy X2, and then there's the
Oh.
post Final Fantasy X thing.
Yeah, there's like not like DLC. It's like, is it an animated thing?
But it,
where it's
but it
like,
actually has like graphics to it.
interesting. So it's like the animation.
I think they answer it in that. But that's not canon for this, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
So as far as I'm concerned, until this podcast is over.
Titus is really good at holding his breath.
Real Kevin Costner hours up here.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's Waterworld.
Yo, hell
Anyway,
yeah. That SNES game has a kick-ass soundtrack.
But as you damage the boss is able to retreat away from you. And I guess because it is like literally an amphibious creature, it can swim faster than you can, so it can go around to the other side of this like central pillar, and you can't reach it from there, so your attacks don't work. Grenades do though.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
still throw grenades. So every time it did it, I was like, you fucking fool.
You fool.
You sorry fool. Hey, you know what, let's talk about real quick, speaking of which, cheer.
Yeah, cheer.
So did you guys get cheer before you came down here?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
So, cheer is a move that Titus can use. It's one of his special moves, and it increases your defense and your attack power.
Hell yeah.
And it stacks.
Hell yeah, that's what I wanted to know.
Oh my God.
I only used it once in this battle, but I'm like,
You can use it up to 5 times.
this seems like a game-breaking like ability. Like,
So I only had our mystery character attacking, stealing grenades and throwing them back, and then when I ran out, I just stole more.
Hell yeah.
After 5 cheers from Titus, the boss was doing like 40 damage to me, like
Hell
with the
yeah.
tentacle thing, and I was like, you bastard, get fucked.
So does it increase the damage that grenades do?
I didn't notice that it did. It
Okay.
may, I'm not sure. I didn't notice it doing it
'Cause
anymore.
I
It
feel like
did
it-
roughly 320, 330.
Yeah, so I think that's around what mine were doing as well. I feel like it would make sense that ability wouldn't increase the
the damage
items,
items do, yeah.
but I'm not sure.
I don't think that it does. We can
Grenades
put it
don't
in
have
there.
morale.
But yeah, cheer is great. It is super good skill. Use it all the time, especially if you can just use it 5 times at the beginning of a battle. Like, goodness, what a good skill.
It reminds me of like the rage move or whatever in Pokemon that like you might not have used when you were a kid playing it. But like,
it hits over and
speedrunners
over.
and like pro strats are just like, oh yeah, you use rage and then when it hits you, it increases your.
That's how you beat Whitney's Miltank with each Totodile.
Yeah, exactly. It's like rage or rollout and shit where you're just like,
Yep.
oh, this is just like easy
Yep.
mode.
But when Trost goes behind that pillar, though, and you can't reach it, the first time you just have to wait. Your trigger command, like the game says, hey, press left sometimes and you'll get a new set of commands.
Yeah.
This is kind of like where overdrive would be if we had an overdrive, right?
Yeah.
So it'll say press left, you get a new set of commands, and you just have standby at first. You just wait. So you're just waiting until it comes back.
Nice thing about standby 2 is you recover 50 HP.
You do. Yeah, you recover HP for standing by.
I just remembered. Oh no, it's Star Wars again. It's The Rise of Skywalker.
Whoa!
God damn.
We're through the looking glass.
I was like, I don't want to be the one to say
I
it,
know,
but holy
I
shit.
know.
But it needs to be said.
Carry on.
Final Fantasy X predicted the rise of Skywalker.
Hell yeah.
Incredible. But yeah, so the first time, all you have is standby. And eventually, Tross will do like a charging attack. I think it's called like Nautilus Charge or something like that.
Yeah.
And it'll ram you and do pretty good damage. So you want to be like healed up for that, right?
Naughty charge.
Naughty Charge.
Nautica charge.
But the second time it does it during the battle, when you're playing Titus, you get the option to pincer attack.
Super good.
And your mystery character, or this girl who's with us, will go one direction, you'll go the other one, and you'll pincer it.
Yeah.
And whoever attacks its backside does double damage, just like we did to Airbuster.
Yeah, real reverse Final Fantasy 7 hours when
Exactly.
you first started getting those pincer attacks against
Oh
you.
yeah.
So good.
It's awesome. And at that point, you're fucking it up.
Yeah.
And it's on its last legs at that point anyway, too. Like it really doesn't have that much more after that.
Yeah, it's not a difficult boss fight, but it's a fun tutorial where you're like, oh cool, like
Yeah, I liked it, and there's like dynamic to it. The whole swimming around in the air arena,
Yeah.
like it doesn't like the battles in this don't feel static.
Yeah,
they don't feel like this
absolutely.
is my side, that's your side, you know. And like you're actually swimming up to them and attacking and stuff, you know. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool because I don't even think they did that in Final Fantasy VII, did they? You still just kind of like step forward and then
yeah.
attack. If I
Like they
remember.
even had things where like, I mean, in Final Fantasy VII, when you had long range, you just did your normal like
Yeah,
attack
standing there.
animation, but somehow it hit the thing that's on
Right.
the other elevator.
Right. Yeah, right. So the battle like opens up a hole in the side of the room, and we're able to swim back out into the sea, right? So whatever Titus did smacking on that fucking device has powered something up.
I don't know if the battle actually opens up that thing.
It may have already been there.
Because I'm pretty sure if you actually look at like in the arena, that's
you're
already
right.
that's
It's
already
right there.
opened up. So
You're 100% right.
it's not like a Deus Ex Machina of like, oh, you killed the squid and it opened up the next way for you. It's just like,
Then why don't we take the door?
So after that, it's cool because all these lights, these like high-powered underwater lights that are on this like little hallway thing. And I keep saying hallway, but it really is like a hallway carved into the rock or something, right?
Yeah.
But all these high-powered lights turn on and they start showing something further down toward the ocean floor, right?
Oh yeah.
yeah, it looks like the USS Enterprise.
So
It has like a disc.
there's like a giant fucking disc down there,
Yeah.
right? And like the disc has like these weird like posts, I guess, sticking out of it. And it shows it to us from kind of multiple angles. And yeah, it kind of has like a Enterprise from Star Trek look almost to it. It's really hard to say what it is. But they found something down there, right?
Yeah, I think
It reminds me a little bit of the Bebop.
Oh hell yeah!
It's got like a it's
Bebop?
got from Cowboy
the
Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop.
Ah,
It's got the ship, but it has like a cylindrical kind of disc around it.
Yeah.
Not
quite so.
centrifugal. That's what I meant to say. Kind of thing. Anyway,
So when you get on, okay, so after that, you're able to swim down there. It shows you this ruined thing from multiple angles, and you appear back on the ship. Like everybody's popping back up.
Yeah.
They accomplish their goal, or
Shows
you
you-
accomplish your goal.
Yeah, it shows you nice shots of the ship from different angles and stuff.
Yeah.
And
And somebody, one of the guys, it's the guy with the Borderland, Mr. Borderland, as he's walking back in and going down to the cabin of the ship.
says, "I don't know about that, Titus."
He says, like in a different language, something, but at the end, there's a word that you do understand, which is airship, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, airship.
it's the high wind.
The Highwind found it.
This early in the game, we got it.
So the members of this group are talking to each other, getting ready to walk down to the down to the ship, and Titus is just following right along behind him. He's part of the team now, right?
Yeah.
And he's the last one to go in the door. And as soon as he's getting ready to step in the door, the last guy turns around and just shoves the shit out of him and just pushes him out.
Yeah.
And the door closes on him.
So
Titus is like,
Hey, I helped out, didn't I?
so good.
But now it's time for a snack.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Yep.
again, for the second time this episode, Titus is just like begrudgingly saying how hungry he is.
Yeah. And he's like, because it seems to me like a little time has passed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like when there's like a
He's
little fade out.
lounging.
He's lounging. Yeah.
He's like that Hollow in New Londo.
He's in a very draw me like one of your French girls pose.
Home Alone on a Friday night.
Going back for more olive.
And then again, our mystery friend, like I guess the presumed leader of these salvagers, I suppose would be a way to swashbucklers. But she walks out and is holding like an aluminum lunch tray.
Yeah.
And has just a delicious plate of what looks like spaghetti.
Oh yeah, you thought it was spaghetti? I thought it was like some sort of bean dish.
Ooh, it could be
Some
like a
rice
bean
and
dish.
bean dish, some jambalaya. Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie though, it kind of looks
Tikka
nice.
masala maybe?
For being like 10 polygons total, I'm like,
Dude,
that looks pretty all right.
I'm extremely hungry right now, much like Titus. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, yo, I could fuck that up.
Yo, I could fuck that up right now.
It
Absolutely.
looks like a hungry man, like frozen dinner. It comes with a brownie, and you're like, yo, I'm so excited for that brownie. And then you like cut it out and eat it, and it's like all weirdly cold. And you're
Yeah.
like, fuck.
she brings
She
him
gave him a kid's cuisine.
I was gonna say kid cuisine. God damn it!
You're not allowed to have the brownie until you finish your nuggies.
Oh, you son of a bitch! That's so
I'm
good.
so sorry.
Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, so like, and Titus just goes right the fuck.
Oh, he's
to
going
town.
in.
and he's like using his hand like a scoop.
Whoa! Right on.
Yeah, whoa, right on.
Hell yeah.
Gotta get out of here. And yeah,
He
just
starts
fucking,
scarfing it down, and then he starts choking a
He
little
starts
bit.
choking. Like,
And I was like, I hope this character just punches him in the gut again to like has like
Yeah.
a Heimlich thing.
Yeah.
But she throws him a little flask. I mean, it's a canteen, I
yeah.
guess. But
Well, I wonder because he like reaches up off of screen and she goes, "Hey!" And then he has the flask.
Oh,
and
so
I was
he
like,
steals it from
Did
her.
he steal it from her? And he just like grab it right off her. And she's like,
Grabby flask.
"No, that's acid." And he's like drinking it. But
I wonder if it's the same mystery liquid in that Orin has. It's a do not choke juice.
Pee. Everybody in Final Fantasy X just has a flask of pee on them.
In case of jellyfish stings. And then she says something that, like, I also, like, this interaction just reminded me of me talking to my cat.
Sorry. I'm laughing again. I can think about everybody having a flask.
Yeah, I was about to say he eats like a cat in a food commercial.
Yeah.
Where they obviously like we're depriving this cat too much. It's like just unhinging its jaw to go.
Yeah, she just, like, squats down and says, "It's because you eat too fast," which, like, is literally a thing that cats do, and then they throw up everywhere. And I know this because that's how my one cat is with
Make sure
any
it's
wet
elevated.
food. Yeah, I need to try that as well.
Yeah. And then, I don't know how y'all interpret this or feel about this. I just, God bless, I hate Titus so much sometimes. He just, like, doesn't respond, and he stands up and just starts giggling like a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
And just, like, stretching and be like, hee hee, oh. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like psychopath stuff.
Like, dude.
Worrisome.
Worrisome. Yeah, and he, like, walks away from her, and she's like, hey, like, what the hell?
Yeah, and he just says, "Hello there, what's your name?"
Yeah, hey, and he goes just like a normal conversation, turns around.
Hello there. What is your name?
Just like new conversation.
I know.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Yeah, and then she gives us her name.
Riku.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So,
Hatsune Riku.
a fucking creator of
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah.
And Harry Potter.
Yeah, right. And like, Titus is like half surprised, I guess. He's like, you really do understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is weird. Like, I thought that was already established.
It is, I think
I
maybe
guess she never directly spoke to him because he is a simp.
Yeah, because he is a simp, yeah. Oh, God,
He is a reply guy.
Titus is a reply guy. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, man, this is not going to be a big part of the conversation. I'm not going off on a tangent. But if we just want to have a counter for the number of times in this game that one of the women characters talks to Titus and then he just pretends like they said nothing and then talks
asshole.
back at them, like, we're not going to have enough paper and a fucking ream to like fill those tallies up. I hate him so much. And then he says, why didn't you say so earlier? After she said her name. And she's like,
I didn't get a chance to. Everyone thought we were a fiend.
Uh-huh.
and it's like O-U-I.
And it's spelled W-I-I.
That means yes in French.
Yeah.
It means
like, what?
yes in French, and in this language it means you.
Yeah, and she explained that Titus is like, we? Like, we were a fiend. And she's like, oh, we means you. Yeah, like you said.
Which means, I guess, if, like, you want to do this at home, like, you can write down, like, okay, so O equals Y.
So
U
literally
equals O.
Get your decoder rings out.
Yeah. You gotta mail us the box tops of your frosted flakes.
Yeah, and we'll send you an Albed decoder ring.
Yeah, an Albed decoder ring. Yeah.
Anyway, Titus says, who are you guys anyway? And she says, we're Albed, can't you tell? And like, you know, being the omniscient player of the game, we've seen the word Albed in the like the tutorials of what the language thing is and stuff. So.
We are some class of Albed.
DJ Albed! Another one.
And then she turns around and says, you're not an Albed hater, are you? Which, like, I guess they have to be a little tiptoey. But, like, racism is a thing in this game.
Yeah.
So we'll get into that. And, like, one of my fucking first half favorite characters ends up being the racist character later. So we'll get into that.
Yeah.
And then we get another fantastic camera shot.
Anti-Bedites.
Yeah, anti-Bedites.
Yep.
But yeah, then we get another just fucking up-close shot of Riku's butt.
Yeah.
With Titus standing in the background. So
gratuitous.
I wonder, I don't know how old, like, Nomura or any of the directors were or anything, but this game, is this not the Final Fantasy that you would make as a pubescent child?
Yeah.
Like, if you were, like,
I mean,
12.
Nomura is pretty young. I'm gonna look this up now.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to just trash on the man.
No.
He did a good job. They made a great game. I don't even think he was the director. He was just, like, the character
He was the character designer.
Yeah. So, like, it's fine. I'm just saying that, like...
This is a pretty horny Final Fantasy.
This is a horny-ass Final Fantasy.
I'm not... Listen,
but it's very, like, one-directional horny.
I'm not advocating for Nomura to be put in horny jail, but I got my eye on him.
You've been issued your warning.
Your warning. Soon you will be in horny jail.
Are we looking up that now?
So I think he was like, what, 31? This game came out 19 years ago?
And what have I done with my life?
Yeah, he was like 30.
Oh, man.
He was my age. I am 30 years old. I am the age that Nomura was when he was designing this.
Have you,
and I'm going to throw him into horny jail.
Yeah. Which JRPGs have you made now that you're 30?
Fuck.
Yeah. It's okay. I'm 32 and I still haven't.
Shit.
Ooh.
It's okay.
You know what?
That's
Fuck
fine.
Nomura. You know what I made? I made 1/3 of a podcast. God damn it. That's way more impressive than Nomura's fabulous record of achievements.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Making characters that I love.
Anyway, so we got this shot of Riku's butt, and Titus says, I don't even know what an owl bed is. And he mopes off. And she's like, where are you from? And he says straight up, Xanarkand. Mm-hmm. And like a fucking doofus. He's like, I'm a blitzball player. Literally like in that cadence.
I'm a blitzball player.
Star player of the Xanarkand Abes. And I like that he does like a little animation. Like he does like a little, he pantomimes kicking a ball. And it's actually quite cute. I actually do like that animation.
Good, yeah.
I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
It's
endearing.
no Cloud putting his hand on his hip, but it's pretty good.
There will never be another Cloud putting his hand on his hip.
Yeah.
Maybe Squall putting his hand on his forehead and then shaking his head.
Yeah.
I think this is the first game also of Final Fantasy that uses mocap to some degree as well.
Oh, maybe so.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. It makes sense too. I feel like there's a lot of moving parts on these characters. Yeah.
I love what Riku says next, though. She says,
Yeah.
Did you hit your head or something?
Yeah, and he goes, yeah, you guys hit me.
Which fucking, yeah. Hell
Got
yeah.
him.
Yeah, I got him.
Yeah, I'm
Shut
not owned. I just owned you.
Yeah, I'm not owned. I'm not owned.
I didn't get hit on the head. You hit me and knocked me out. I'm a star blitzball player, by the way.
You can't fire me. I quit.
That's business, baby.
You're kicking me out of the band? Motherfucker, I am the band. But yeah, she says, oh, right. Do you remember anything before that?
Yeah, and so he tells her, and it literally says, like, I told her the whole story about Xanarkand.
In the narrator voice, right?
In the narrator voice.
Yeah.
So we're led to believe that he's just sitting there talking to her for a while about where he's from, who he is, probably his cool house yacht boat.
Yeah.
And he probably says some real creepy, weird simp stuff.
Yeah. We can only assume that he's definitely 100% no question about it, saying some really weird simp stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
He goes on a whole hour tangent about the game, getting ready.
He's like mansplaining it.
He's like,
to
so
her,
I dipped my Timberlands into this pool of water.
He do got good Timbs though.
Yeah, they're real good.
But she kind of like not stops paying attention to him, but looks off into the distance, right? And he like notices it and is like, "Oh, did I say something funny?" And she's like, "Oh, you were near Sin, so like at least she knows what Sin is, right?"
Yeah.
You were near the bad ball. And then she says, "Don't worry, you'll be better in no time. They say your head gets funny when Sin's near. Maybe you had just some kind of dream." And Titus is like, "What do you mean I'm sick?" And she's like, "Yeah, because of Sin's toxin."
Hell
and
yeah.
like, man, I hope you guys like the word Sin's toxin because that's gonna be a fucking phrase.
Hell yeah.
But then she says some real fucking.
I'm so sick of this toxic sin culture.
I'm gonna get one of those like counter things. So anytime I encounter Sin's toxin, I'm just gonna click it.
Yeah, click it again. But she says she lays a real devastating truth down on Titus. There is no Xanarkand anymore.
Yeah.
Sin destroyed it 1,000 years ago. So nobody plays blitzball there. That's what she says. And like it takes Titus a second, right? He's like, wait, hold on. He's doing like the math calculation meme. Like that lady has like all the fucking like math flying around her head or whatever. He like does one of those where he's like, wait, no. Which is kind of fucked up, y'all.
Yeah, Alex, just drop in the gasp sound again.
I do like this aspect of this game that like we haven't known what the fuck is going on, right? Like it's been just like weird scene into weird scene, fucked up situation to fucked up situation. We really haven't gotten any exposition. We're just getting odd scenes all stitched together. What the fuck? This big Sin gave us the suck and then deposited us somewhere, and then we're on this salvaging boat. And then, like, we were just there, like, an hour ago. And she's like, oh, yeah, there hasn't been Xanarkand for 1,000 years, buddy.
Yeah, Sin gave us the...
How powerful of a suck does Sin have?
Sin gave us the old suck and chuck. You hate to see it.
The old suck and chuck.
You all sucked him into next millennia.
Hell yeah.
Your face when it's 1,000 years later, but Sin keeps sucking.
No!
Yeah, and Titus is like just hysterical.
Yeah. He's like, I saw Sand attack Zanarkand. I just saw it.
Yeah.
And you're saying that happened 1,000 years ago? No way.
No way.
And she kind of explains, she's like, okay, well, look, you're a blitzball player, so you should go to Luca. There's a place in the world where a lot of people play blitzball. You should head there. Maybe you'll see somebody that you know there.
Yeah.
And Titus is just like, Luca or whatever, he's doing the snake thing, the Metal Gear Solid, second floor basement. He's just like repeating the thing he just heard.
The last noun in the sentence.
Yeah. And she's like, what, would you rather stay here? And he's like, oh, no. And she goes, all right, I'll go tell the others, but I will get you to Zanarkand. Or not Zanarkand. But I will get you to Luca.
I will get you
promise.
to the big game on time.
Yeah. She's like, I'll get you to the big game on time. I promise. And
Prom's tomorrow.
yeah, right. And so she starts to walk off and turns around and says, don't tell anybody that you're from Zanarkand, though. Yevon says it's a holy place. You might upset someone.
Yeah.
That's the first time we've heard the word Yevon as well, which has become a thing. So, God, we're like, I like this about Final Fantasy games in general, is where like you get just enough information that you're trying to piece things together when you clearly don't have enough information. Like, and we're like, all right, something called Yevon says Zanarkand, the place we were just at, was a holy place that got destroyed 1,000 years ago. So now I have to keep it under wraps. What?
Yeah, I can't talk about anything. He's like, literally, his entire fucking personality is to be like, hey, I play blitzball for the Zanarkand Abes.
Yeah, right, yeah.
She's like, yeah, don't bring that up to anyone. I like to think that Riku...
The Duggles are fine.
Yeah. Riku, like, she's like, oh yeah, don't mention anyone that you're from Zanarkand, but not because of this Yevon, like, oh, it's a holy place, you might upset someone. She's like, I don't want to hear this fucking asshole talk about blitzball for one goddamn more minute.
Yeah, she's just tired of him.
Yeah.
And like, so she walks off, and we have a little narrator scene with Titus where he's just kind of like hanging out on the deck of the boat and talking to himself and being like,
My Zanarkand? Some kind of holy place? Yeah, right, I thought. Since when?
Yeah, that place is a dump.
that place is a dump. And 1,000 years, like, could it be that Sin just dropped me off 1,000 years in the future? Like, is that what happened? And he like out loud shouts, no way, and then like kicks that little the mountain of stuff, the supplies that are on the boat.
Yeah. And
he like kicks it, and I think at first you're led to believe that he kicked it so hard that the whole boat like rocks, and he falls over really comically and like backward somersaults a couple times or whatever. And like I think at very first you're like, oh, okay, he kicked it so hard.
He kicked it too hard. He pulled a Zell by punching the ground.
But then immediately like the other Albed like run out of the door, like back up onto the deck.
Yeah.
And the whole ship just starts fucking like, not capsizing, but like rocking or whatever. And they do also very comical rolling, like where they're all like just like somersaulting all the way down the ship. It's quite hilarious.
Someone put butter on the on the deck, and they're also come get y'all juice.
But one of them says something that we do understand. He shouts, Sin.
Shin! Shinik Lusa!
So Sin has found us again.
Oh no.
We just saw this MF.
Yeah. We just like fought a bunch of his scales.
We just fought a bunch of his scales. Why he want to hit us up again? Sin is needy. He wants to suck.
He must suck. And then we kind of see that there's like a geyser kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like some shit's going on in the water.
Yeah, there's something in the water. Which I mean, like in the first episode, we saw that Sin rose up from the water, right?
Yeah.
So something's
like,
in the water.
Titus is like laying on the deck again, and like the water is just kind of starting to like splash onto him, and he falls overboard.
Yeah.
Into the water.
Yeah. And then like it shows like the other Albed like looking over the rail at him, like, oh shit, like, whoa. And he lands in the water and tries to swim for it, and a fucking whirlpool appears and gives him the downward suck. Because the very first thing I said in the episode was upward suck. Anyway.
Oh hell yeah.
So we had nice little bookends there, the up suck and the down suck. We got sucked up and sucked down.
Stuck between two sucks.
A link between sucks. And that's the end of this one, baby.
Yeah.
End of this game.
We get prompted to save.
We get prompted to save.
Save we shall.
Anytime there's like a prompt that asks you to save, I'm always like, one of two things is going on. The big thing just happened, or is it getting ready to happen?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so like you always take those saves. Or we're getting ready to change discs, but this is past that time.
Yeah, we got carts now.
Get carts now, yeah, right. We have digital downloads on the Nintendo Switch.
Hell yeah.
They will never disappear.
I wonder what the Final Fantasy X cart tastes like, because the Nintendo Switch cart taste horrible.
Do you have it?
No, I got the digital
I'm
download.
gonna let you know right now.
All right, Alex is gonna Alex right now on the pod is gonna taste the FF10 cart. I really did it.
It tastes like earwax.
You would not recommend.
You heard it here first.
Do not order Final Fantasy X on your Subway sandwich. Yeah, so that's the end of the episode, y'all.
Hell yeah.
My cat wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
It has been a
What, Final Fantasy X? Or just the taste?
The taste of it.
it's been a wild 2 episodes.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here.
I feel like we have more context for shit now, though, so it's a little less, like,
A little bit
incoherent.
Yeah. I feel like
What
seemingly-
context?
yeah, we at least have like another character to like talk to, I guess.
We don't just have, like, characters that we, like,
Slightly
that our
left-
character knows and, like, sees and stuff, and then it's just like, okay, I don't know anything about
Even
any
though
of
Yeah.
she speaks a different language, she's less obtuse than Auron.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's oh man, you know what? That's what we're gonna bring FF10 back. Here's what we're gonna do to offset Titus's simpness. Every time Auron is on the screen or anywhere near, I'm just gonna be like, we're gonna play a himbo alert sound and just be like, "Brum, brum, 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 himbo time."
I'm here for it.
Delicious. What a delicious gentleman.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, the cart doesn't taste good. Auron, delicious.
You should make the cart taste more like Auron.
Dear Nintendo,
Dear Nomura.
dear Nomura, please make cart taste more like Auron.
Is that going to be this season's question? Is what does Omura taste? What does Auron taste like?
Yeah, what does Auron taste like?
He tastes like piss from his jug.
Piss from the jug.
There it is.
Do you want to give us the downward suck, Alex?
Yes,
All right.
I will do that.
I was gonna say like the fucking things that Titus kept punching. I was like, you could give us a pounding, and I was like, oh, that also has like connotations to it. I guess.
By the end of the season, we're all going to be thrown into horny jail.
To see you there, Nomura.
But we're going to do it as an inside job to break Nomura out.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're gonna do it as a team. I was gonna be like,
Also,
yeah.
as a team, we're gonna have a prison break
We
for
pod as
Nomura.
a team. We go to horny jail as a team. I'm sorry, Alex. Would you like to read the outro notes?
Special thanks to the Night of the Round for the theme music this
Oh, it's
season.
so good.
Hell yeah.
It's thick.
Oh, thick.
Very good.
It's a viscous tune.
Bandcamp has been doing frequent waiving of all like percentage.
Yeah.
So, go add their whole library to your wish list. I think you can get their whole discography for like less than $30.
Yeah, and
So-
I don't know if they still have it, but they had it on the really cool Moogle Pentagram USB sticks for a while.
Ooh, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, and you got one of their masks as well.
I did. I also got the USB.
Get the face mask. They're awesome.
Hell yeah.
Back
And wear it. Sorry.
wear your damn
Yeah,
mask.
definitely wear it.
Equip that mask for a buff.
Yeah, it increases your stealth by like 3 points.
Feature music in the background is Nobuo Uematsu with Help from Junya Nakano and
Thin Lizzy.
Masashi Hamauzo. I will probably figure that out within the next year.
we will call Corey live on air at some point soon.
We're on every FNFF everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. We're going to try using Twitch more since everyone's been,
We have our first emote.
We
Hell
did.
yeah.
It's Sid jumping. Makes me laugh every time.
Yeah, you have to spam it when Curtis is on good pace for his
Yeah.
speedruns. For his Tomb Raider speedruns.
Ooh, yo, I love speedrunning Tomb Raider. I actually haven't completed a full one yet. Sorry, anyway.
Yeah. If you're a newcomer, leave us a review on iTunes. Let us know what you
Yeah.
think. Hoping you're enjoying it so far.
If you're a newcomer, sorry we haven't talked about how we might have newcomers until just now, I think.
I imagine that nobody actually listens to our podcast.
That's always the mentality that I have, and then I'm shocked when I find out that some people actually do.
There's
I'm just thinking we have people who came on for Final Fantasy VII because that's everyone's Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
and now we're like,
And
an
we're
X
being
with-
very mean about what could probably be a lot of new listeners' favorite game. And we're sorry.
yeah.
yeah. And even if you don't leave a review, tell a friend.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. We're all in this together,
Oh yeah. And we're also on Discord together.
and you're never free from sin.
You're never free from sin.
Down we go.
Suck! Suck!